Hello there, my name is Anna Delman. I am on day 202 of a note writing journey, going to continue all the way through to 365. And my note for today is, have you ever been so overwhelmed that from your core you cry out, leave me alone? Can be a silent cry, friends, but it's a cry nonetheless, and it's sometimes screaming from deep within, even though nothing comes out of our mouths. And by that you mean everyone, including God. You reject those whom He appoints to console you. However, more importantly, you shout it in those moments to Him. Now, friends, we often don't want to admit that. We don't want to admit our screaming and screeching hearts to anybody else. Our facade looks composed. The image we present is cool, calm, and collected, in control of life and what's going on around me. But inside, deep down, and you know what I mean, we are hollering out something so adverse to anything that we are presenting. Now, in the book Spiritual Desertions that I'm working through, and also it is to hone our discernment and examine ourselves along the way, Vutia says the following: the things that always accompany desertion are the aversion to or non-acceptance of consolation. Now, that may not sound like it's something that is true of us, but if you really look back in those moments in your life when the comforting things were offered to you, not necessarily by anybody specifically, but the deep comfort within yourself, excluding what anybody else can do for you, or even if it is somebody whom God has appointed to nurture you, to encourage you, and we reject it, we walk away from it. That, friends, is the non-acceptance of consolation. So Vutius goes on to say, those who are thus minded tend to regard the consolations too lightly and the consolers suspect, as if they did not sufficiently bear in mind the justice of God and the gravity of sin, and badly neglected the mercy of God. And although they sometimes listen to these consolations with some desire and joy, they cannot feel and accept their plainness and reality in such a manner that they can find peace there, but continue to be suspended between hope and fear, assent and refusal. Now, friends, that is when we don't fully understand who God is, and we haven't spent enough time meditating on His character when we're in those difficult situations. And it's not that He is withdrawing Himself from us, withdrawing our presence from us. It's that we are shoving Him away. We refuse to acknowledge it. I would like you to consider Psalm 77. Now, please, there are 20 verses. Read the whole thing, but I'm going to just read a few of them. And you can understand that with the psalmist, that's where we fit in. There's nothing new under the sun, friends. And if we took the time to read God's word, we would see the red flags. We would find compassion in it. We would find instruction in it. We would find His presence. In this, He's telling us what is going on in our lives and what our behaviors are, if they are out of line, or if He's drawing us closer, consoling us along the way. So hear this, friends. This is from the NASB. My voice rises to God, and I will cry aloud. My voice rises to God, and He will hear me. In the day of my trouble I sought the Lord. In the night my hand was stretched out without weariness. My soul refused to be comforted. He's doing all the right things, but is he masking what he's truly crying out for when his soul is refusing to be comforted? It's not because of the depth of the injury. God knows the depth. It's that he refuses to allow all those things that he knows about God to be sufficient to comfort him. In verse 3 we continue, when I remembered God, then I am disturbed. When I sigh, then my spirit grows faint. You have held my eyelids open. I am so troubled that I cannot speak. I have considered the days of old, the years of long ago. I will remember my song in the night. I will meditate with my heart, and my spirit ponders. So he's sharing the war and the torn state of his soul, of his heart. And here he challenges, will the Lord reject me forever? And will he never be favorable again? Has his loving kindness ceased forever? Has his promise come to an end forever? Has God forgotten to be gracious? Or has he in anger withdrawn his compassion? Then I said, it is my grief that the right hand of the Most High has changed. It is grief. He's saying God has changed. He is saying all these things because he cannot understand his predicament. Friends, sometimes life is so hard and your situation is so overwhelming that it feels, we think, God has left us and abandoned us. I've been there. I know what that's like. But listen to the psalmist in verse 11. He has a change of heart. He realizes, as we all should, we should come to that point. I shall remember the deeds of the Lord. Surely I will remember your wonders of old. I will meditate on all your works and muse on your deeds. Your way, O God, is holy. What God is great, like our God. Friends, read Psalm 77 all the way through to 20 to find your encouragement, to find that God has not abandoned you. You may feel like it. Your feelings are not the facts. We need to remember it. And sometimes when nothing makes sense about what he's doing in our lives, at those times, I will admit, it feels like he has abandoned us, forgotten us. Particularly when it occurs in a situation, particularly in a church, where you think any little offense that happens there, that he will come and punch, not literally, friends, figuratively, punch those who are bringing a mark against his name, his character, through the way they are doing church. Doing it, friends. Not according to the way he would, because their way they are doing it exposes their reality rather than what God would want them to do and how he would call them to respond and manage his church. It is hard. He has not abandoned you. He has not forgotten you. Are you possibly taking a step back because you do not understand, because your life is legitimately going through a heavy trial, that you're taking steps back away from him, away from his consolation, away from his presence? If that's you, friend, please read Psalm 77 and find your comfort from verse 11 through 20. Until tomorrow, when we will review the week on day number 203, take care and God bless, and we will talk again. Bye-bye for now.